Shalom Israel. Before I start, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yahara Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel who rule and teach well, to Akim, the Ayahs and Bywers, and those pushing videos in truth and sincerity, to brothers and sisters in the truth. Now, a brother sent me a clip, an article on WhatsApp, and went online and looked it up, and I just want to bring out the information in that. I ain't gonna say too much, just gonna do some reading. Because the last time I did something like that, they put a ban on my channel for a week, so I can't, uploading. Hence the reason I'm on this channel, the backup channel. So before I do that, I want to bring this out. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 3, and we're in the information age. We're able to read now, and it's good to read. Now, our main source of reading, we know, come from the scriptures, but in like manner we also read other sources, because there's prophecies going around, and unless you're taking in other sources, sometimes these things will go over your head. So this is Revelation 1 and 3. It says, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." And the point I want is where it says, "Blessed is he that readeth." Now this is something we have to do. And anyone that knows me know that I always say read. Once you've done reading, read a bit more. Normally, when I say that, I'm speaking about the scriptures. Yeah, but yeah. So we're gonna do some reading. What the hell? It's like it, Israel. It's lucky for that. That's the devil being the devil. As you start to want to bring out information to expose, that something always comes up to try and get in the way. But like I said, I ain't gonna really say much. I'm just gonna read. Now, this article here, it's an old article. It goes back to February the 27th of February 2018. So this is just over 2 years ago. Yeah, we can say 2 years, just over 2 years ago. Coming up coming up 3 years now, because we're in January 2021. So coming up 3 years, but this is the information. It says, and this is from the Mail Online, so a fairly reputable news source. It says, killer flu outbreak is to blame for a 42% spike in deaths in January, after 64,000 people died. It says the highest number since records began. So this was January 2018. The killer flu, which it said accounted for 64,000 people dying. It says government data shows 64,157 people died in January, the highest since 2006. It is only the second time the toll has breached the 60,000 mark, figures reveal. Circulating influenza was blamed, released by the Office for National Statistics. I'm just going to read a bit of this. It says, the killer flu outbreak is to blame for a 42% spike in deaths across England and Wales. Statisticians claim. Government figures reveal 64,157 people died in January, significantly higher than the death toll of 45,144 recorded in December. Says it is the highest, and that was from December 2017. Says it is the highest number since records began in 2006, and only the second time it has breached 60,000. Circulating influenza was blamed in a report released today and compiled using data of deaths from each region. Well, this isn't something I'm making up. This is from their own data. Said it showed deaths were higher than levels recorded during the swine flu pandemic in 2010, considered the worst outbreak in recent years. So, you know, it was worse than the swine flu pandemic. Now, in 2018, I don't remember us going into any form of lockdown. I could be corrected on that, but trying to be mindful, not to add my own opinions. It says the Office for National Statistics report showed a similar trend in deaths was seen in all 9 regions of England and Wales itself. It read, circulating influenza is likely to be a contributing factor in the high number of deaths registered in January 2018. It says some 10,000 deaths were recorded in the southeast, followed by 8,000 in the northwest and 7,000 in the east of England. At the other end of the scale, 3,000 people died in the northeast in January, 3,000 in Wales, and 5,000 in the East Midlands. Latest figures show the flu outbreak has killed at least 271 people, but this is likely to be an underestimate because it only counts for confirmed hospital deaths. The outbreak, fueled mainly by an aggressive B. Yamagata strain, Japanese flu, has now tailed off. However, it is currently still more prevalent in England and Wales than was back in December when the outbreak began to take off. So, deaths usually spike in the winter because of the cold weather. Does that sound familiar? It says, why do deaths spike in winter? It says, deaths usually spike in the winter because of the cold weather, which forecasters expect to last for another couple of weeks. But the last time more than 60,000 people died in a month was January 2015, when an aggressive flu outbreak, another flu, triggered a surge of deaths. So it seems like these flus keep, flu outbreaks seem to be killing off people. Around 16,000 deaths were blamed on the killer, that were there across that winter. In contrast, only 577 fatalities were recorded in the previous winter. So, it says not all of the excessive deaths this year will be down to influenza, but is likely to have played a role in a significant amount. I want to read any more of this. Well, no, but what I'll do, I'll put the article, link to the article in the description, for anyone that wants to read it. But point being, come off it. Yeah, point being, in 2018, January 2018, says there was a killer flu outbreak that was to blame for a 42% spike in deaths in January after 64,000 people died. So that was in 1 month. And, we didn't have a lockdown. Over in the UK, we've now gone into somewhat of a national lockdown. Let me see if I can quickly find something on that. UK. UK national lockdown. So this is where we're at the moment. What's this one? 40. Yeah. So this is on the government website. Coronavirus cases are rising rapidly across the country. Find out what you can do and can't do. Hold on, that's not what I want. Come to this. This was an hour ago, and this is Sky News. Says Boris Johnson announced his new national lockdown for England, expected to last until mid-February. And obviously that's because of the Corona, why we're doing this lockdown. It says Boris Johnson has announced a new national lockdown for England, with people instructed to stay at home as they did during last March's first shutdown. The Prime Minister revealed the action in an 8-minute TV address on Monday night, so that was tonight, after being told that COVID cases are rising rapidly in every part of the country due to the new coronavirus variant. So the public are being asked to follow new rules which replace England's tier system from this evening. So we're no longer under the tier system. You know, there's like a national lockdown, and that's due to the corona that's going around. But when we look at how many people have died so far due to corona, yeah, we got UK coronavirus deaths. Let me come down here. Why do you want to do this now? Yeah, all right, there we go. So it says 75,024. So in England, you've got 65,000, Wales 3,000, Scotland 4,000, Northern Ireland 1,000, and I'm assuming that's what makes up the 75,000 deaths that we've had. But remember, we just read and we're on a national lockdown now. But back in 2018, just for 1 month, we had 64,000. That's like 11,000 deaths less. And I stand to be corrected. I don't remember us getting into a national lockdown. This is Matthew 24 and verse 24. It says, what the 24? It says, "For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." And this is the point that I wanted. With all these things that are going on, many people are being, I don't know if I should, being deceived with things that are going on in this world. But the ones that won't be deceived overall is the elect. The ones that's destined to salvation. They won't be deceived because they'll be one reading the scriptures. Let me come here. This is Isaiah 34:16. It says, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want a mate. For my mouth it has gathered it slacker. For my mouth it has commanded, and his spirit it has gathered them." So we're seeking out the book of the Lord and read. And we know the Most High, he tells it before it happens. This is why we can be sure of what we read in the scriptures. So the elect will be studying, will be reading, will be listening to, taking in lessons to those that are teaching, who's bringing out the information. They won't be fooled. Yeah, they won't be fooled by what's going on. This is why I started off with "Blessed is he that readeth," but it's good to read. Now, 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, it says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us." How will he get the advantage if we're not reading, taking heed of what's happening around us? That's how he'll get the advantage, because we won't know what's happening. We'll be taken by surprise. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." And we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, because we're taking heed to the word of the Lord. Now it says ignorant. See what that means.
Strong's G50, Agnaeo. Agnaeo.
Says to be ignorant, not to know. So the elect ain't going to be in a position where they don't know. The elect is going to be in the know, not to understand unknown. The elect ain't going to be in a situation where they don't understand what's happening. Why? Because wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, the wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures. and also taking in the information that's going around, being able to chew the meat and spit out the bone. Yeah, it says to err or sin through mistake, to be wrong. But the point being, the elect won't be ignorant. They won't be in a situation that they don't know or they don't understand. Yeah, so they won't be ignorant of Satan's devices, his plans, the schemes that are put in place. Now, this is John chapter 8, verse 44. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there's no truth in him." This is why we're seeing all these things that's happening around us today, and when you look, at what's happened before, like we did, yeah, 42%, and you look at what's happening now, you don't, you're able to tell lies from truth. It says, because there's no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he's a liar and the father of it. So, we're not going to make ourselves ignorant, put ourselves in a position where we don't know. Yeah, it says, blessed is he that readeth. So, hopefully, that was edifying. And with that, I'm going to close out. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Baharakah Kadash, Kwame Allah.